Center really mean?
We're an insurance and financial services company in South Springfield, and 20 years is our anniversary next year. The company has evolved into what it is today, which was a vision of having a one-stop shop.
You hire the best of the best.
Yes, we do. Everybody here to me is family.
Our guiding principles are:
be kind,
speak honestly,
make it simple,
act fairly,
put people over profits. Simple solutions.
Good morning, everybody out there in Wildcat Nation. Thanks again for joining us on Dollars and Cents. Bruce Porter here as always.
Yeah, here we are Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend.
Yep, it was good. We were busy. I cooked all weekend. I cooked Friday night for the church, made tacos for the youth. Saturday, I got to brag, Jack had a great day Saturday at the state AIM shoot. So state championship. High school shoot.
So do tell. Did he win?
He did. Yeah.
Really?
He was the top. He was tied with. Well, he didn't technically win, but it's a win for me. The top score was 198 out of 200, and Jack shot 198 out of 200. But so did one other kid, and they did reverse scoring to break the tie, which means they start counting backwards. Whoever has the longest run from the end gets first, and the other kid had 125 run. And Jack's was 70. Well, it was over 75. It was like 80 or 90, his reverse run. So he took technically runner-up, but he broke the exact number, same number of birds as the kid that got first.
Wow.
And then the Rogersville team, they took first, so they won the state championship again. And a bunch of other kids are shooting straight. We got a straight 75, a straight 100 first. Jack shot his first straight 75 and his second straight 75.
Wow.
But just shoot skeet. Basically, you're shooting skeet 200 times and only miss twice.
Not me.
He's 16, so these kids, they know what they're doing.
Well, they're good at it. They've taught themselves. I mean, here's something they can excel at, and now they're exceptional.
And they've got some great coaches, Kevin Boyer and then Tim Kennemer, who retired, but he was their coach for a lot of time. Great coaches, and Kevin Boyer's gone on. He still works here with the Rogersville Trap team, but he's also Drury's shotgun coach. Wow. So he's now coaching at the collegiate level, and we've got kids coming out of here with scholarships, which are winning scholarships with their shotguns. So it's a big deal. Yeah. It's really a big deal. We're going to get the chain gang on them to talk to them. And speaking of the chain gang, they had a great, awesome tailgate last night. I got to cook the hamburgers for that. They had a lot of people show up over at Finley Collective, so it was a big deal.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Cool stuff happening in Rogersville. And the fireworks Saturday night. We came out and saw the fireworks. A lot of people at the park. Big show. Good show. Lots of cool fireworks. So it was a happening weekend.
Yep, busy weekend.
So
if you weren't such a good cook, I mean, you would be asked to be, like celebrity chef. At so many events.
I really enjoy it. I like to cook. So it's a nice thing to get to do. And I'm glad. I'm really happy when people ask me to do it. So it's cool.
Sounds good. Well, I'll tell you what we want to do. I want to continue our conversation about having an exit strategy. This intensity in the stock market, and it keeps building and building and building. And, people have got to understand that in their lifetimes, we are facing an enormous stock market, of the volume of the market, the price of the market. This market, it's unprecedented. It's never been in this kind of shape. And I think, honestly, we have to look at the condition of the United States. That's where we all live. The markets, this financial market of the world, the financial capital of the world right here. And I think we have to look at what's going on. I mean, we're facing interest rates that are going to be adjusted within the next, give or take, 12 months. The Feds locked that rate in for 3 years prior to the election. That's going to be coming to a stop. Inflation is on the rise. The markets are volatile, and they're being pumped. Now, there's a lot of scandal on Wall Street right now that's probably going to work itself out like it always does. But every time there's a major scandal on Wall Street, there's going to be some corrections and some adjustments in the market. And I think we got to be mindful of that. So again, I think as consumers, we have to be mindful that if you're playing in that casino with your life savings, I think you've got to reevaluate your position. I don't mind, clients, dabbling in the market. Sometimes we hit a home run, sometimes we don't. But I'm just not a big advocate of gambling with your life savings.
Well, not your savings, certainly. And I think the misunderstanding a lot of people have, and you've certainly helped educate me on this, is that it's not stocks or cash. There's a lot of other opportunities
Absolutely.
to have good, solid security and still have respectable growth.
Well, I wrote a book a few years ago called Finding the Courage to Retire.
You know, the forward to that book is fantastic.
I know the guy that wrote the forward to that, and he did an awesome job at the spur of the moment. But if you want a copy of that book, get a hold of Will. Send us a message here on where are we at?
K-ROG.
K-ROG.
TV.
Send us a message. Get a copy of that book. The answer is not all or none anytime, right? Mm-hmm. The answer is a proper mix. The answer is making sure that you're comfortable in your income that you have, that it's sustainable, that you have no concerns about your ability to earn income. Income's it's the catalyst. It's what you depend on for your standard of living, right? Mm-hmm. Now, as long as you're secure in that, now I think you got to do a nice mix. You need to have debt under control or a plan for debt reduction. You've got to have emergency cash reserves, even though you're reducing debt. You understand, a lot of people say, well, I'll just take all my cash, go pay my debt off. Well, that's fine. You could do that. If you're paying 20% interest on credit cards, don't put money in savings. Reduce your debt because it's eating you alive, and you don't even realize it. So, but debt reduction, having emergency cash reserves, having a good long-term investment strategy, having a short-term investment strategy. Now, that short-term might be dabbling in a few stocks, bonds, whatever suits your fancy. Just don't dabble with everything that you've got saved for retirement someday or a rainy day. If you've got $100,000 in your total cash portfolio, and that seems like a lot, and that is a lot of money, I wouldn't play with more than 10% of it probably. I would be pretty realistic about the ability that I had to show or that I had to exercise in order to save that money, the blood, the sweat, the tears that it took to accumulate that much money.
Yeah.
And, don't fear asking questions. Don't fear getting advice, because the average savings account in the United States today is less than the average debt account balance on credit cards for the average American. That means we owe more than we have saved. We have a negative savings rate of about $17,000 per household.
Wow.
So when you consider that, don't ever fear asking a question to somebody like us, because we're more than willing to help at least give you some good advice, help you analyze your situation so you can get a game plan together. And you know what? We were all there where you're at.
Yep.
If you're underwater, don't worry. We've all been there.
All been there.
Yep. And you know what? All you got to do is ask people that have been down that path. We have, we've been there, done that. So ask for advice. We'll be glad to give you advice.
We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Isn't that right?
Yeah. Who said that?
I don't know. Well, I do know, but they're
Will
not.
Worsham.
They're not a sponsor, so we're not going to call them out here. If you do have a question,
I think we heard it though at Storytime.
We probably
Coffee.
did hear it at Storytime Coffee, right down here in beautiful Jamestown Plaza.
I've been all over Southwest Missouri, and I am a coffee connoisseur. Right?
Yeah.
I tell you, if you want a good cup of coffee, consistent, you can whip in, and within seconds, you can be drinking coffee.
It's good coffee.
You know what a yawn is? It's a silent cry for coffee.
Silent scream. Silent scream for coffee.
Or is that what it says?
I don't know what it says.
I don't know. I thought it was cool. It's on the
Yeah, they got it on
on
their
their
board down
counter
there.
right there.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But I think you ought to come to story time. And you know what? If you want to sit there and drink some coffee and talk about money or, anything.
We're usually hanging around on Monday mornings.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a great
Various
thing to do.
any other times.
Come
but,
down and
it's
we
a
can
happening hub down here at the Jamestown Boulevard. You can come down and just
Absolutely.
hang out, and you can see Larry Lister for your commercial insurance.
Yeah.
and
I've known Larry a long time.
he's a great
And
guy.
you can't get a nicer guy.
Yep.
And Larry, I tell you, he's kind of settled in. He's fine. He's found a very good company that he represents, and they're independent. And you know what? Larry can find you a good deal.
He can.
And I don't say that about many competitors, but I do like Larry.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
He,
and you know what? He's the real deal.
He wrote our policy for K-ROG. He did a great job for
Absolutely.
us. So he did that for us. But if they want to get a hold of you, Bruce, at the Resource Center, 882-1800, resourcecenterinc.com. Go there. You can find out a lot of great information on that website. You can register for one of our estate planning seminars, which
Yeah.
we've got one coming up Wednesday
Yeah.
afternoon. It might be full, but we do them all the time. So
Yeah.
you can register for that.
Call
It's
the
a-
office, find the schedule out, and
Yeah.
get hooked up.
It's an entertaining, informational hour. It goes by fast.
Yeah, it does. It really
And
does.
we have a great time, and you'll come out of there with a lot of good information.
Yeah.
Always good feedback from those.
Most people want us to stay and talk a little bit longer, but we do try to keep it to an hour because when you're discussing legal junk, about an hour is
It's my limit. I can tell you that.
Well, I'm kind of like a kindergartner.
I don't want to go any longer than that.
No, about an hour, and I'm
But
done.
if you do come and you spend that hour with us, then you can schedule a free meeting to sit down and talk to you, and then you can schedule a free meeting to sit down and talk to me. So
You know what's really good about that? It's legit. They are free meetings.
they really are. Yeah.
So we really sit, we have some coffee, we visit, you can ask questions, bring a list of questions to that meeting because we can sit there and discuss stuff.
Absolutely.
And I've heard all kinds of stories and all kinds of things, but you know what is really unique about those meetings is usually there's something that we can help somebody with.
Almost always.
And I don't know.
Or we
that's
can
what
point them in the
get out
right
of it.
direction to
Absolutely.
get them the help they need. So
And yeah, because I guess we can't solve all the problems,
not all of them,
but we do pretty
just
good.
most of them.
Yeah, we do.
Hey, thanks for joining us today, Rogersville. We appreciate you watching, supporting Dollars and Cents, supporting K-ROG. Lots of great stuff coming up on the air with K-ROG. Go to krogtv.com.
Yeah.
And, hey, big thing coming up. We're really we've got Rog Got Talent coming up. If you have any talent whatsoever, you can register and you can be part of Rog Got Talent. You can win $500 and the chance to perform at Rockin' Rogersville this year in September. So
Oh, I have no talent, but that would be awesome.
I'll bet we'll come up with something for you, Bruce.
No, I
Yeah,
doubt
we'll
it.
come up with something.
No.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and the Resource Center, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet a particular need of an individual situation. The Resource Center, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this podcast shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by the Resource Center, Inc. This podcast is a paid placement.